Blog Talk Radio.
Why does everyone keep telling me I look so familiar? Of course I look familiar. I'm Alex Kyriakis.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Pam, your host. This is Take Two Radio, Soaps and Review, and it's a great day. And we have David, and we have Anthony, and we have Candace, and we have Will. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Pam.
Hey.
I'm happy.
Good group. It's been a while.
Yeah, we're just missing Carolyn, and she'll join us again in a couple weeks. She's got family around, so it's understandable. Yeah. But, you know, tonight's
That's what happens when you live in Florida. They all want to come down.
I know. Well, tonight we have, oh my gosh, I'm just like really super excited.
Beemer.
I have to get my words together here.
Yes,
a lot of excitement going on.
Yes. There's something going on tonight?
We are very pleased to have with us award-winning actor, producer, Brandon Beemer, and he can currently be seen as Sean Douglas Brady on The Days of Our Lives. But some of you may also know him for roles on The Bold and the Beautiful as Owen Knight, and on The Bay, the series, as Evan Blackwell. And he's had a really busy career both in television and movies, so we're excited to speak with him tonight.
Yes, we are.
So
thanks for that reminder. Yeah, I forgot that he was on Board the Beautiful. He was really awesome character on there. I like that part.
Yeah,
yep.
You know,
okay.
the whole
I'll be right
Jackie.
back, guys. I'll be
All
right
right. You know, that triangle. Ashley, him.
Like Jackie, right? Jackie had to was his lover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jackie.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Refreshing the memory there. Yeah. Oh my God! It feels like a lifetime ago he was in there.
That was like the OG Cougar storyline, you know, at relatively the same time you had Erica Kane sort of flirting with Brian Lavery, but they let that drop. Whereas The Bold and the Beautiful really took a chance and let that relationship.
They took a chance.
And that was a really good pairing. That was a really good
pairing.
My
God, yeah.
Oh, my God, yes.
Two.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, The Bay. Have you guys checked out The Bay?
You girl, you know.
Oh, I love the Bay.
In
a couple of years.
Baby,
I want to move there. I love that you guys.
Okay, gang. Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
We're here. Please welcome Brandon Beemer.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, Brandon.
Hola, Brandon.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I mean, I know you guys are super busy, and it means a lot to us when you take the time to join us for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
So, as you can tell, there's more than one of us here.
Yeah, how many are there? I'm trying to figure this out here.
Don't get scared, man. We're not going to jump you.
No.
4 or 5?
There's 5 in total, and, you know, we each ask a couple questions each. Me being the host, I may slip in one extra, but we're not going to keep you forever, and we only ask a couple questions. It'll be over before you know it.
Okay, sounds good. No worries.
Well, I guess we'd like to start out with finding out how you decided you wanted to be an actor and who, if anyone, inspired you.
Wow, somebody just asked me this a few days ago. I'll give you the short version. I don't know. Being an actor never really crossed my mind because I didn't think it was anything that was sort of possible, growing up in Eugene, Oregon. I kind of wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I had an opportunity to go to New York, and I've never really seen the world. And I was right after I graduated high school, and I said, you know what, Dad, I'm going to New York. I was still living in my parents' bedroom. And I said, I'm going to New York for a month. I've got money saved up. Leave me alone. I'm going to New York. What are you going to New York for? I want to go try this whole modeling thing because people I went to a model search thing or whatever it was, and I had all these people in New York trying to get me to come there and agencies and stuff. I said, I'm going to go for a month, see what happens. Went there for a month, and I just, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I just, the vibe and the energy of the city, it just sort of took off. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what the world has to offer, so many different things. And I was doing that, and next thing you know, a month came along, and I said, I'm just going to stay here longer. I got a place to stay. I'm paying for it. I'm doing everything, making money. And then I don't know, I guess I kind of got burnt out on the fact that it was just purely just a physical sort of thing, and you just sit there, or you just model. I'm like, what kind of skills do you get to be a model? I mean, if you look great and people like your look and you take good pictures, that's it. And so then somebody told me, so take an acting class. And I was like, what do you mean an acting class? I'm taking an acting class. And they were like, no, just take an acting class. I'm like, you mean like drama, like go up on a stage and blah, blah, blah? And they're like, yeah, be an actor. And I was like, I don't know. I never thought about that. It never even crossed my mind, but it never crossed my mind to be a model either. Right. So then so then I took this acting class, this 3-month course, and I just went, oh my gosh, this is fun. This is cool. I want to keep doing this. And then that's when I packed up, broke the lease on my apartment. I packed up my bags. I sold this, and I sold everything, the furniture, and I moved to Los Angeles. And I knew like one person in Los Angeles, and just came out here and started taking acting classes because I wanted to be a good actor because I wasn't a good actor.
Well, what made you decide to do the acting thing, though, in California? Because you could have stayed in New York.
I think it was because I also didn't like the weather in New York. I love New York, but
I idea that was going to be it.
Yeah,
that's why I moved to Florida.
I mean, Eugene, Oregon is there's a lot of rain there. I mean, it's like lots of rain and lots of just gloominess. And I didn't, I always kind of joke around and I say, I didn't know that I was depressed for the first 18 years of my life, 9 months out of the year until I moved. I mean, it's just, and when it's always gloomy, you just kind of look outside and you go, I'm going to be right here. I'm going to stay right here. So Los Angeles, man, I mean, it's just you want to go out and do things. You go hiking, go to the beach, go to the mountains, and it's just to go to your friend's pool, and so.
Yeah, I think that's why people are so fit when they live in California, because you can go out and do those things through all 4 seasons. I live in Illinois. I live in Illinois. Tell me about my weather. I mean, come on. I'd move to California if I could.
Yeah.
So, wow. Well, I mean, that's something, different than what I've heard from other people, because we tend to ask that question a lot from our guests, and most of them grow up knowing they want to be an actor, and sometimes it'll hit them in college where they're studying to be a doctor or a lawyer or Indian chief, and all of a sudden there's like, oh, acting. So,
yeah.
But I think with models, I think that's kind of a progression, don't you think? We're moving into the acting arena.
Yeah, I think it is, because a model can go and they do print and they can go do commercials, and then when you do commercials, that's just like a little taste of that you give a little bit of personality, and personality gets you the job. Where it's like, as a model, I mean, personality never really got you the job. It was like, just show me your book and show me the work that you've done, and I'll let you know whether or not you're hireable and I want you to represent my product. But then, you go do commercials and they'd say, hey, just give us a quick 30 seconds to tell us about yourself. And then you don't go, I'm Brandon Beemer and I'm Los Angeles. They'll go, okay, you just put me to sleep. Okay. Unless they want people to, unless that's what they're looking for, but most of the time it's not.
Yeah, you got to be full of excitement all the time. I mean, you got to act. That's all there is to it. With whether you're
you got to be interesting and
catch their attention right from the start. Because if you don't, there's somebody else next in line, unfortunately. So that's how that goes. Well, the other thing I was wondering is, what is your acting process right before you go on camera?
Just to let it all go and not give a shit.
No.
I mean, it's the truth. Once you do your preparation, I mean, you just got to let it all go and just know that you got to know that you did the preparation, you did the prep work, and then your prep work is where you sort of, that's what kind of like where you're going to get through the scene. You're going to know your dialogue, you thought it out, you know all that kind of stuff. And then you go in there, and then you just work off the other actor, and the next thing you know, you end up doing something that you never even thought that you were going to do. The scene, you know, if you're in the moment, the scene will, and you don't make too many decisions, and you're not like trying to hold on to a performance. I mean, you can come up, things will just pop up, and you go, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. Well, I didn't know that was going to. Wow, whoa, what just happened to that scene? I never thought it was going to happen that way. And so that's kind of, that's kind of the fun. That's one of the fun things about it. But yeah, I like to just throw it all away and not get in my head, because when you get in your head, tense up and you it's like you think that you have to do it this certain way, but the truth is, I mean, spontaneity, I think, is really the way that is the most genuine, because we are spontaneous creatures.
Yeah, and I would imagine that some of that has to go with playing off of your scene partner's vibe too. Oh,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how great of stuff that you can do with different actors or actresses, and then other ones you're like, oh my gosh, are my feet in quicksand? Is my acting in quicksand? Like, I mean, why do I not even want to say my dialogue right now? Can we just call this a wrap and we'll just get this over with? Like,
yeah,
wake me up when it's over.
That's not a good thing.
I'm sure that some people probably said that about me, so who knows? But yeah, it's also just chemistry, just in general. You can like the person, but not want to act with them. But then you can watch them act with other people, and you could love to watch them act.
Right.
But sometimes it's just a little bit of a chemistry thing.
Right. Yeah, I would imagine it's like everyday life, people with people.
Yeah, and it's also characters too. A person, if you're chemistry and character, like I could act with somebody and they're playing one character, but then I can act with that exact same person and they're playing another character. I can be like, oh wow, what the heck is that? Where is this? Whoa, we vibe well off of each other. You know, it's a different sort of personality click. Right,
exactly. Well, what was the best advice you received when you first started out that you could pass on to others?
I think the best advice that I got, and it's, I guess, I don't know, I think I've said this already. I'll say that, hold on. There's a lot of advice that I've gotten, but it's in through acting class, and I mean, I'd say one of them is that, like I said, let it go. Do the prep and let it go. I mean, if you prep and memorize. I mean, it's not for everybody, but if memorize your stuff, and you don't have to worry. All you get to do is just, you don't have to grab lines out of your head, and if you're comfortable enough to be able to be in the moment, I mean, it won't look like you're grabbing lines out of your head because they'll just be there, and then you can do other things. You can walk, you can talk, you can jump on 1 foot, 2 feet, you can stand on your head. Show me how. I want to see somebody try to do that while they're trying to remember their lines.
Yeah. And especially in soap operas, you don't get 22 takes, so you have to.
No, we get one take.
Yeah, exactly.
So one take. I mean, unless you completely just butcher it. But and the other thing was, I guess for that, so that was just for overall. But I mean, the hardest thing I've ever done is soap operas. That is for sure. And the one thing I remember the one thing that always sticks with me. I was working a lot on days right when I first started. I remember Peter Reckel came up to me and he's like, don't sit there and attack one script at a time, blah, blah, blah. He's like, when you're sitting around and you're just doing nothing, he goes, just read it. Read it. Familiarize yourself with it. He goes, it'll stick in that brain. He goes, if you got 5 scripts, he goes, don't not look at the other 4. He goes, work on one. He goes, but then, he'll read these other 4. Read them. And he goes, just read them once. He's like, you're just sitting there. You're sitting there watching TV or you're, waiting for a show to come on. He goes, just pick up one of those scripts and read it. And he goes, and then when it comes time to actually work for it, and work on it, and you got to shoot it the next day, He's like, a lot of it will be absorbed in your head, and you won't have to worry about, oh my god, I got to memorize all this. Right? Well, when did I didn't even know this happened in this script. I totally forgot about this script. And so that was one of the things that helps me when I sit there and I look at like a stack of 6 scripts that I have to shoot in a week, and I'm going, oh my god. No, Brandon. Put one aside, and then that's your main focus, and then take the other like 5 or 6, and I would just pick them up and read them. Read one, and then set it down. Go get some food, whatever, and then read the other one, and just read them through, and you'll also get like a sort of a story arc when you read all of them.
Right, yeah.
Go, okay, cool. And then it'll stick in your head, and you'll go, okay, so I go from here to here, and in that script I go here to that place, and I talk to that person, and it kind of looks like a big movie in your brain, and you just got to attack it in sections.
Yeah,
there you go.
That makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, that's probably one of the best ways you can do it, especially because you guys have so many lines and so many pages of scripts. Even if you're only on there for 10 minutes or something, for the whole week, you still have a lot to learn. So I think that's a great piece of advice right there that you got.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Peter Reckel.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm done with my questions. Next up, we have Willie.
Willie.
Yes. Hi, Brandon.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay. I wanted to say that how much I adore you, not only on dates, but also on Lifetime. So I wanted to put that out before I ask my 2 questions. Okay.
Thank you very much.
If you were not an actor, what would you be?
Independently wealthy.
A model.
Independently wealthy. I mean,
okay.
and then I could do then I could do a lot of other things. I actually don't know what I would want to be. I don't think that there's anything that, I don't know. I mean, I think that that's one of the things, one of the reasons why I'm still here is because I never really put that other B option in my brain, and that's my biggest fear. The backup plan that I don't have. Mm-hmm. I just put my focus on staying working as much as I can and trying to do better work and be happy while I'm doing it. And so the little thing creeps up sometimes when you're in between like shows and you're going, oh no, don't go there, Brandon. No, you got to keep going. This is normal. And so, got to keep going.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, if you had the opportunity to direct TV shows, which 2 prime time shows would you choose?
Prime time shows?
Yeah, if you
to
were
direct them?
if you were a chance to direct any 2 TV shows on prime time, which 2 would you want to do? I love Succession. Succession is great. I love Succession. I love Succession because Succession's got such great dialogue. I mean, and it's just the dialogue just works for itself, and the actors are so great, and it's just, it's hard to, it can't beat that. And number 2, I've been watching Animal Kingdom right now, so I think that's such a good show, and the last season, and there's only like 2 episodes left, and it's so sad, but I don't know. I like that whole thing. I'm rooting for these criminals and, rooting for their lives, and they kind of won you over a little bit and their struggles, but, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like, you guys have got to have like millions of dollars by now. Why can't you just quit? But that wouldn't be a fun show. Yeah. So all of a sudden they're like talking about money. How much money we got each? And they're like saying the amount, and I'm like, oh God, you can't live off of that. I was like, whoa, but hey, I've been following you guys' careers, had the characters' careers, and I'm like, you guys have been done with your money then. So, but so that was, I don't know. That's just off the top of my head. Those are 2 shows that I'm like, I enjoy. Cool.
And, there's a lot of other shows in the past, but sort of genre-wise, those would be, I guess, sort of my 2 shows.
All right, I like that. That's cool. Yeah, the season finale will be this coming Sunday, so you'll want to check on that on TNT. Thank you so much for answering my question. I still have that one last episode. Yeah, thanks so much, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Willie. All right, next up is David.
Hey, Brandon.
Hello, David.
It's a pleasure to speak with you tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
My question is, I am very much into the soaps. So, what were your first impressions when you joined Days of Our Lives?
First impression was, holy cow, this is a lot of dialogue. I was like, I think that I had, I mean, they were coming off of a 2-week break, and I didn't know what was, I knew the storyline and stuff because it gave me the news, but I think I had like 15 episodes come at me during that 2-week break, and it just kept piling up, and I was like, oh my God. And then, like, when Sean found out that Claire was his and that Mimi was, lying, Mimi was keeping it from him, Mimi and Bonnie were, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I would just remember I had my neighbor that really, really helped me, and she would just, next door, she was an actress as well, and she was like, or she was trying to be an actress, she's like, we can do this. And I'm like, no, I don't think I can. I can't do this. She's like, no, I'm going to help you. And so we would sit there and we would read lines, and I remember sometimes my brain, I was like, I mean, it was just like throbbing, like a different sort of a pain that you would ever have as opposed to like a headache. It was just this weird thing, and sometimes you'd even get like sort of lightheaded, and you can't. And I was like, I can't remember anything. I can't remember more. I'm starting to remember less as I'm forgetting the stuff after that I already learned it, and then I realized that that's okay because when you sleep on it the next day, you're like, oh, there it is. But man, it was a lot, and I'd say that the other thing was, when I first got on Days, it was like the family sort of aspect of it. The people that have been there for so many decades and years, and they just they took me in, and they were, and it was great to be playing a role. And I didn't realize the difference between playing a role on Bold and the Beautiful and Days of Our Lives until I switched to Bold and the Beautiful. It was like, I remember going, after Days, after I ended up leaving there, I was like, I want to go and play a character that's not related to anybody, so I don't have to worry about being paired with, I can't be paired with that person because I'm related to everybody. Yeah. And, and there was something that, and then I was like, and then I went and did it, and I was like, this is fun. This is fun. But then I started to realize, that the characters that play your family members and the relationship you have as a character, it sort of gives you that bond. It's like a weird sort of like pseudo mom and dad and, and a sister, and then you start to you become friends with them. But then on top of that, you care about her, and you have these moments, and you share these moments of dialogue and scenes where where you just you can trick your brain into like really feeling like this is your mom, and especially when it's somebody like Christian or Peter that really come and they teach you, they talk to you like they are your mom. She's like, hey, how you doing? Come here, come to my dressing room. I'm like, yeah, what's up? She's like, so tell me what's going on. Tell me about your love life. Any girlfriends you have right now? No. Okay, so what's going on with this? What's going on with that? And I was like, no, it's like a little like mom thing. And I was like, so that was a lot of fun. And then when I went to Bold and Beautiful, I didn't have that. I just had, I just basically had like everybody that I was friends with, and and the characters. The closest I got to was Leslie Ann Down, and so so and she and I just like. In real life and friends and everything, we just clicked really well, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman.
Well, that's great to hear, because that sort of segues into my second question for you.
I know that. That's why I was bringing it up.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy a good love story, and the one that brought me to tears, and everyone teases me here that I'm a crier, is the one between Jackie, Owen, and Bridget.
Yeah.
I think that puts you right in the leading man role right there, because I thought you were awesome. So my guess is, how did Leslie and Ashley up your game as a leading man?
I mean, I don't think I've ever had anybody more than Leslie Ann Down sort of up my game, because she's just so good at what she does, and she's so convincing, but she's also got so much. She's got so much this information, and she's not one of those people that's shy about saying, "Dude, listen to me. You need to do this here, do this here, do that there," and then or try this. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no." So and then I'll have a problem with the scene, and I say something to her, and it's like she's not one of those people that kind of goes, "Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know, like maybe you could try it like this, but I don't know. I'm working on my stuff right now, so I will just shut up and say your dialogue." She was really invested in both of us doing well, and she, in the scene, she was so, like, in the moment. There are times, I always say this, it's just a funny thing because, like, when the camera's not rolling, she treats me like I'm her son because I'm basically, like, almost the same age as her first son, Jack. And so she's like talks to me about him, and she's like, "Oh, dude, you're just so young," and blah, 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 blah. Oh, God, da, 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 and then all of a sudden, and I'm like, "Oh God," I was like, I feel like you're my mom, and then we get into the character, and I remember what's the yell action? That Jackie M comes out, and then Leslie, it's just the core of Leslie is there, but the Jackie M turns on, and all of a sudden you get taken away with the scene. You get swept away into that scene with her, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I was like, she's in love with me. Wow! And then all of a sudden they go cut, and then she goes, they go cut, and then all of a sudden she's like, makeup, dude, your facial hair is making my lips red. And blah, 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 my face red. I'm like, sorry. Oh, come on, don't do this. No. And I was like, oh God, sorry. Now we're back to Leslie.
Yeah.
So I mean,
watching the Christmas tree as the lights go on. Yeah.
Yeah. That triangle, and I mean, and Ashley Jones. I mean, she's just like such a great actress, and she was just so easy to work with as well. That whole triangle was great. I mean, I found myself one time. I can't remember because somebody asked me a question about something, and I couldn't remember it. And I went back and I went to YouTube when I was on the TV, and I had it on my TV and not on my phone. I went back and I went back to Jackie Owen and Jackie and Bridget. I sat there for like an hour and a half watching just all of our just stuff over and over and over again, and I was like, holy cow! I was like, we were all really good. I was like, wow, look at you. I was like, Owen is it was fun to watch that kind of stuff. And I think I even told my best friend Brianne, I was like, Brianne, come here, watch this. She's like, yeah, oh my gosh, you're great. You're still great, but still, she's like, you guys were great together. And so that's all. It was nice. That was good. So yeah, it's definitely that is one of the really cool storylines and pairings that I've had.
It was wonderful to watch.
Yeah,
thank you so much. I was like, it was just funny because I didn't think anything. It was a weird thing. They're like, oh, we're gonna do a Cougar storyline. I was like, cool, with who? And they're like, Jack, Leslie Ann Down. I was like, oh, I think I met her like twice or something. And we first had our first stuff, and she's like, hey, dude. And I'm like, I was like, I don't think I met you. I was like, I met you maybe. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Then she even said to me, she goes, and then when we started working together, she goes, oh, this is only going to last like 2 or 3 months. She goes, and then we're going to be off to the next one. And next thing you know, 2 years or
right,
a little bit more, 2 years. Yeah. And then, Brad Bell said to me, he was like, I just love how you just are so sincere and how much you love Jackie. And you just look at her and you don't see age. You just see her as Jackie Maroney, your wife, the woman that you love. And I was like, well, she makes it easy. So.
Yeah.
That's gracious. Yeah,
that's wonderful. I mean, we all fell in love with Jackie and Owen. There's just no doubt about it. Of course, hearts were torn with Ashley and that, but it was a love story, that's for sure. Well, thank you, David.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That was a fun little reminisce right there.
Up next is Candace.
Hey.
Hello,
how you doing? Hey.
Hey, good. How you doing?
Okay, real quick side note, I just want to tell the world that I was a Jackie Owen fan. Thank you very much. And okay. I'm glad I had that whole therapy session right there. Like, I feel good. Now I feel good. I feel okay about it.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so I have 2 questions here, and it's regarding not Days of Bold, but the Bay. which I'm a huge fan of. Everybody should know this. Okay, you're a producer on the show. So how did you get involved with the Bay family? And second question is, what have you learned from being a producer? Would you like to do more as a producer in the future on other projects? Okay, that was like 3.
We forgive you, Candace.
I've known Gregory. I'll go first. How did I get involved with the Bay? I mean, I've known Gregory Martin and I've known and Christos, just through the scene, for years. And and then my ex, she did a movie with Gregory, and so I met him years and years ago. And I guess it's just like one of those things where your name, it's like, if you're the Bay type, I think that name's going to come up at some point with Gregory as he's masterminding his storyline and trying to figure out pairings and all that kind of stuff. And then and we'd see each other at events and stuff. But then I remember I think he asked somebody about me, and they reached out to me and said, "Hey, Gregory's wanting to reach out to you about doing I think it was Jade that asked. Jade reached out to me because I knew her, and I was like, "What's the role?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just for a day or 2 days a day or an episode or 2 episodes, blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Nah, I don't want to do that." I was like, "Let me know if you guys got something meatier, and I'll do it if it's something meatier." And then I don't know, like a little while later, next thing you know, it was we have something meatier, and we want you to play Ron Moss's son. And I was like, oh, okay, hold on, now we'll talk, because they were doing flashbacks of the flashbacks of Blackwell and stuff, and they were like, okay, you could play Ron Moss's son. And a lot of people would say that when I was on Bold and Beautiful. You could play Ron Moss's son. I was like, I know, I should have played it. I think it was named Thomas. And they were like, you should have played that. You should have been playing that. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I got this role. And so I think they gave it to Adam Gregory after Drew Tyler Bell. I think that's if I'm remembering correctly.
Right.
So then it was sort of off the races, and they were like, obviously Blackwell runs the show, and then he's got his 2 sons, and I was like, all right, now we're talking. Now we're talking like legacy characters and more fun and more more relationships and stuff like that. And then the producer question. I guess I became a producer because I just, I care about everybody on the show. They're all great people. And I've been in Los Angeles for 22 years. And I just seem to know a lot of people and things and, this and that, and how to get things and how to do this and how to do that. And so the next thing you know, Gregory was like, hey, man, we're trying to figure this out. And I was like, oh, yeah. I can figure that out. I can fix it. I can do that for you. And then it's, hey, we're trying to get a hold of this actress and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'll get a hold of her. I'll get her for you, and I'll talk her into doing the show. And next thing you know, I'm doing that. Just like sort of, finding things and that need to be done. And then Gregory's like, dude, you're producing the show right now. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, you hooked up this, and this. He's like, you're here. You coming to set when you're not even working. He's like, you're sitting behind the camera with me. He's like, dude, it's great to have a second set of eyes that has good taste. And he's like, you're giving me little, you're showing me things and giving me ideas. And I was like, oh, crap. He's like, dude, you're going to be a producer on this right now, and for this season. And then so then I did it, and then I ended up winning a Daytime Emmy for it. So thank you, Gregory. And so that was fun. And then he was asking if I wanted to do more, but then it's just hard to when when you're working on days, because you can't. There's nothing like concrete availability. I'm like, dude, I can't. I'm not available all week that next week. So, bro, we need you to do this and do that. I'm like, I can't, Gregory. I can't be a producer right now. I can't do that for the season, because I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of a storyline. I've got stuff going on. And he's like, okay. I was like, I would do it, but I mean, I'm not going to sacrifice my number one job and to run around and try to make sure that this stuff happens and find locations and all that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of how that went. But it was fun. It was fun to do it for a little bit.
Yeah. And experience too. Gives you experience in case that's where you want to go.
Yeah, for sure. It's so funny. I'm actually going to Christos' birthday dinner tonight at 7 o'clock.
So. It is his birthday today. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's his birthday and Christian LeBlanc's birthday too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and somebody else's. Cameron Matheson's birthday.
Yeah, Cameron. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, I'm sure we could pull up like 5 more in the daytime world.
Probably.
All these people,
right?
all these actors.
I go on every single day to try to find whose birthday it is in daytime, and I post it on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook and that. So there's usually more than one, and at some points there's like 5 or 6 of them that I post at a time. So, yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, she's good at that. She's good at that. I'm good at like maybe like anniversaries of storylines and everything else. For some reason, it's weird. I guess because as a teacher, you have that brain, you know, like absorb every single information and be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm the daily reminder, even though I have a planner, but I have a daily reminder in my head. So. Oh,
honey, you're the storyline archivist too, though. You know, you mentioned 3 things, and you will pull up the storyline, when it happened, what year it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Candace, that was the end of your questions, right?
That was it because, like I said, I love the Bay. I've been there from the beginning.
Yeah, me too.
Till now.
Me too. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for watching the Bay. Thank you for watching the Bay, too.
Love the Bay.
Last but not least, we have Anthony.
Hey.
Anthony.
You know, full disclosure, I have been watching soap opera since I'm 3 years old. I was definitely a Jackie Owen fan, and I am a huge fan of the Bay. So thank you, Candace, for asking that question. I ask the more Fanny kind of questions usually, so that's why they always put me last. Question, I have 2 questions for you. My first question for you is, you know, you've been in the genre for a really long time, and on and off you've done a lot of other amazing projects, of course, and David mentioned Lifetime. But, you know, soap opera is like a master class. So if you could just shout out a few of the folks that you really learned from when you first stepped in, and if there are any from Bold that upped your game after being away for a while, shout them out too.
So in the soap opera genre?
Yeah.
I mean, it would definitely.
You already mentioned
be,
Peter.
I think it's pretty much. It'd be Peter and Christian for sure. Christian is just wants to run lines. Because I just want to be blah, 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 blah. She's always available. Run lines. And so, I mean, you know, and she's just, you know, and I think what ups your game also is like having that relationship with the person on screen and off screen. You know, so Christian and say Peter, even like Martha Madison. I mean, I've worked with her so much that it's just like, you know. It's just, you know, we work well together, and it's and she's just great at what she does too. I mean, the girl could just like all of a sudden just drop the tears, and I mean, we have a lot of great actresses on the show. Even Nadia, I remember I was working with her, and she didn't even know what the 2 scenes were about on something. She's like, I don't know what this is, and blah blah, what's going on, and why I'm doing this. And the next thing you know, she just turned it on, and I was like, you just turned that scene into something great. And she's like, really? I think so. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, that wasn't our rehearsal. That wasn't even close to our rehearsal. You just turned the whole entire scene down a different direction. You know, and so I'd say Bold and Beautiful is just like definitely with Leslie Ann Down without a doubt. And you know, it's like, you know, Leslie and even like and Ashley Jones, because she's just a hard worker as well. So yeah, I mean, I'd probably say it's those people that, you know, I was just trying to add some people that are in there. But yeah, I'd say that those ones have been really, influential in my sort of craft and also, you know, work ethic and all that, because they were willing to put in as much as I'm willing to put in and even more. So it raises me up.
Nice. My second question for you is multifaceted. You know, again, you've been in the business for quite some time. You've built a fan base. Some of them followed you to Bold. Some of them followed you to the Bay. But, you know, when in both instances, when you left Days and when you left Bold, there was a huge fan outcry. So what do the fans mean to you? And, you know, with the longevity of your career and knowing that these people are waiting for you. You know, if they weren't announced, you know, hey, he's going to take a 3-month exit from Bold, from Days, but he's going to go to Bold for 3 months, it would raise such a cheer out there. So what do your fans mean to you? And when you first realized how big it meant to people and that you were part of people's daily lives, what did that feel like?
I mean, the fans are everything. That is for sure. And it's like, and you know, and I guess, you know, and them knowing that, me learning how important, I guess, that I am to them, it makes me really like, I'm like, oh my God, you guys, because I do fan events, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, you've been requested. You're like one of the second person that got requested out of like 8 people. I was like, really? They're like, yeah. They're like, they want you to come. I was like, what? Oh, okay, all right. I'm doing a fan event on Saturday here in Los Angeles. And it's just like, and then you get to go and you get to meet all the fans and you get to talk to them. And then, you know, they talk about, they know your character just as well, if not better than you, and the storylines. And then I love it when you talk to people that are sitting there with, like, you'll see like a mother with her daughter and then with her daughter. And they're all, we all watch it, you know, at a fan event, and they're like, we all watch the show together every day, 5 days a week, or we tape it and we watch like 2 episodes in a day or something. And that's our time. It's our time that we get to have together. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like, it's just great to see how, you know, these types of shows, you know, on 5 days a week, how they affect people and they bring people together, and how passionate they are with the storylines and how passionate they are about the actors as well. And so I think that right there just sort of like puts us in a really humble sort of place, and we're just like, oh my gosh, this is like, you know, it's a beautiful thing, and it's a really sweet thing. And, you know, it's like, and then especially when you end up, you see the same fans out that have followed you from the beginning, and they still come to see you, and they're so loyal. And I you know, sometimes I'll go do events because I just know that certain fans are going to be there, and I'm like, I want to see them. I want to go hang out with them, and, you know, and put a smile on their face. And they probably have 100 pictures of me signed, but I'm like, you know what? Who cares? Let's go. And so, you know, it's a lot of fun. It adds a lot of pleasure to what I do. So it's really nice, especially considering the show. I mean, the show's been on for 57 years, 56, 57, or whatever, 57 years. Like, these people have been watching. Some people have been watching for decades, or the beginning. You know, there's not shows out there that are like that have carried on for so long in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
well,
awesome.
I would say our group here collectively have been watching all the soaps since the dawn of time. So,
yes, just about.
We're just happy that we get to still watch them. And yes, it does follow through from mother to daughter, but also to mother to sons, or grandma to sons and daughters, and aunts, and, you know, it's really family oriented, and it keeps it in the family, and it goes down generation to generation. And I think that's how the soaps stay on TV for so long. And it doesn't matter how many autographed pictures we have either. I'll tell you that right there. I agree.
Yeah, it's like, you know, sometimes I'm just
that
like,
was such a beautiful answer, you know, like, Brandon. Thank you so much for sharing time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, that's an end for our interview. I hope we weren't too bad. And
no, you're great. All of you are great. Are you kidding me?
Thank you. Can you share with our listeners where they can find you on social media, please?
Yeah, on Instagram, just Brandon Beemer, BRANDON, BEEMER, or Twitter, the exact same thing. I got just my name on both of them. So come and find me, and I'll try to show you some fun pictures and repost some cool stuff on Twitter.
And I love your little dog. Your dog is adorable.
He is laying on my lap right now asleep. He just got back from he got back from the spa. So I took him on a little hike this morning, and he was warm, and I was pouring water on him, and then he's laying in the dirt, and then dirt turned to mud, and so now he's like this. He's the sweetest thing in the world. I don't even know how I got so lucky to have him. He's just like soft and smells good, and he's literally just laying with his head sleeping on my lap right now.
And they don't ask for much. All they want is love and to be fed. So.
They actually have He's got a fan too. I mean, I've got some people that are coming to the fan event on Saturday. They're in town. I think they're in town now, and they were messaging me on Instagram. They're like, "Is there any way that we can meet up with you somewhere? We'll come anywhere just so we can meet Jimmy and get pictures with Jimmy." Jimmy's the dog.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like. Yeah, it's so great. I was like, I'm trying to figure out how to do it, but I have a busy Friday, so I got stuff I got to get done. But I'm gonna message them after I get off the phone with you. I'm gonna do it after I get off the phone with you, and see if I can try to make it work. But yeah, it's just cute how everybody
loves Jimmy. It's turned into Brimmy, Brandon and Jimmy.
Yeah.
that was the couple you were looking for.
You knew that was coming if we're going from the soap fans.
Right? Well, anyways, have a good time tonight. Wish them all happy birthday from us at Take Two Radio. We love you all, and we will follow you wherever you go. Have a good night.
We'll try. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Night.
Right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I can't say enough.
On the back.
I can't say enough about guests that we have on the show, that they, first of all, they're so generous with their time. They don't have to come on here and talk to us crazy fans, but they do, and we're very appreciative of that. And they're just so genuine. I mean, you can tell, you know?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and you know, in my, you know, professional life, I also do a lot of interviews. Our guests give us the raw themselves. It's the chemistry. It has to be the chemistry that we all exude together. They let go, and they're just regular people with us, and that's great. And you know, if we were to do a Miss/Mr. Congeniality Award, Brandon would definitely be in the top, you know, 3 contenders. He was so honest and down to earth with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that I didn't think was down to earth, though. I mean, between doing this show and the shows I did with Dawn, you know, everybody's always so nice. And there's some actors that you really, really, really are a fan of and never thought you'd be able to talk to, and you get so nervous right before you go on talking to them. But once they start, it's just like you're on the phone talking to one of your friends, you know, or coworker or whatever,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? And you just relax and you go with the flow, and it's just wonderful that they make you feel like that, because it could be different, you know.
We've had so many of those moments, but when you were saying that, I thought back to Riel Andrews. I thought back to, you know, quite a few of them, but also, you know, Laura. And, you know, we thought to ourselves, we have a very tight time frame. She's got to be off in a half hour, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And then she started talking and laughing and got real and got really, really real with us. And it was like 48 minutes worth of an interview. I don't think she even once looked at the clock or watch. When I remember her perfectly when you were like, okay, that was the end, or however you had said it, and she was like, oh, we're done. It was like she was having so much fun too. And it's just an amazing experience to be here on Take Two Radio.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying that because of me. I'm saying because of all of us. You know, we all make this happen. So I love it. I love you guys. And let's move on to, I guess, since we were talking to Brandon, let's start with Dave, since that's his reason.
Wait. Hot Miss Pam.
What?
Pam? I thought maybe, Candace, are you there yet?
I'm here.
Candace? Oh, I thought maybe we'd give Candace a minute to say something in regards to a missing icon in the daytime world.
Oh, yeah, I was going to mention that, too. I forgot. I'm glad you reminded me because, he's important.
I mean, you guys, I was going to say you guys can go ahead because I'm still not 100 with that yet. Because I didn't know I was going to be the one to say it. So, Pam, if you want to say it, you can.
I was just going to mention, I mean, I think there's a lot of people, a lot of fans out there of Nelson Bronco. He was an icon in the entertainment industry in a different way, as like a journalist and people that used to interview people and walk on the red carpet. A big, huge part of daytime TV with the soaps and that. Always fun. I mean, how do you describe Bronco, Nelson? You know, just down to earth and real. He said what he felt, and he meant it.
And he didn't care.
Whether you agreed or not. Yeah. So he was there for me at a certain time that I was going through something. And if any of you have been around for a long time, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about, but I don't want to go into detail about it. But just let's say I'm very, very, very grateful that he had my back, and I've always enjoyed speaking with him on Twitter and listening to him and reading his stuff when he wrote about the soaps and things like that. I mean, just a wonderful guy. And unfortunately, he has passed, if you haven't figured that out. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it's extremely sad. And we pray for his family and for peace and strength. And that's it. I mean, I really don't know what to say. We're going to miss you, Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah, if I can for a moment. Yeah. When I was with the Associated Press for 10 years, and I interviewed, hang out with Nelson quite early on, and he was so alive. There was just that, when they say that people there's electricity coming off of someone. Yeah. There's very few people that actually you get that feeling from, but he was one of those people. His brain, his aura, everything was just always in motion, always moving, always figuring something out, going to the next thought, and he will so be missed.
So let me get myself ready for this. I knew Nelson obviously, through the soap community and everything, but we really didn't connect until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, on social media. And he always picked on me because he was like, "Why are you so cute? And why do you know so much about soap that I'm a little jealous?" And we would always have this banter. If anybody follows me and Nelson, we always would say that we were husband and wife. I think I was the second wife, and he was my fourth husband. I'm not too sure where we ranked at. But, we always respect each other, and he was so supportive of me when I was going through some stuff, too. And also with Forever and a Day, he was a huge supporter of that. And needless to say that I'm still in shock because literally the last time we spoke was August 3rd, which wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was a couple of days ago, but it wasn't that long ago. And anybody who's been, whenever I have a Twitter space, he would pop up. Wouldn't say much because he was always, he let me have my moment. But he would message me and he was like, "Oh, this is a good topic. Well, maybe we should talk about pizza." Really? Who talks about pizza doing the soaps? But then I got the joke. It's just, it's such a, it's a huge loss considering prior to that we had Ann Hayes, we had Robin, then we had Michael Malone passed away. And then we had Nelson, and, Nelson was trending the night of, when everybody found out about his passing. And many people, like myself, was like, "Oh, now he's trending on Twitter." Okay, if he was still with, Nelson would love it. He would have took a snapshot of every time he saw trending. Nelson Bronco. Yeah. So it's just a really, it's a huge loss in the soap community because I saw people like Kim Zimmer and everybody, Nancy and everybody, Michael Maloney, not Michael Maloney, but Michael Mooney. He posted, people knew him, and like you said, not everybody agreed with him, and vice versa. Right. But the thing is, he respected this genre. He wanted nothing but the best for the genre, and it's just for his family, my condolences to his close friends, his online family, and everything. He is going to be missed. And I said this on the other day, and I said, damn, this does not feel right at all. This feels weird. And Nelson, I know you're laughing when I said it, but it feels weird that you're not here to talk about the toe.
Oh, he'd go nuts.
He would. He would be like, really? The toe? Like, the toe, the stuff with GH, Days, younger Russell. He would be talking about all of that. He would, and we're not going to have that anymore, so.
No.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't want us to be that. I know this for a fact. He would want us to be cracking jokes and laughing and not, crying or anything and, stuff like that. Yeah. So, Nelson, what I say next probably be something that you would say, but whichever soap we go to is something you probably would say or think.
And I'm going to say there's a legion of us that will hope that you will pop out of your cryogenic bank and surprise the hell out of all of us.
Hey, right? Yeah, we need to get in touch with Dr. Ralph.
Yep. I said the same thing. I said, watch, since he's trending, watch him say, I gotcha, and I'm like, ah! And he was like, well, it works on days. It can work on, I'm like, oh, God.
And he loved his days.
Nelson as well. He was also a bestie of mine, and like all of you, he was there during hard times for me as well. But he will be missed, and I'm glad that it's trending on Twitter the way that he deserves.
Absolutely. Well,
I gotta take.
We'll keep you alive, Nelson. All right, so
absolutely. I gotta take a Take Two Radio point of privilege here. We've been speaking about secret castings and surprise moments, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's going to be absolutely no surprise when the official announcement that Rena Sofa is returning for a short storyline arc to General Hospital comes out. And I was promised by my friend in the business that I would be able to break it tonight, but it broke earlier this week. I was disheartened. But then another little gem fell into my lap. So I am very, very pleased to say.
Wait, back up. No, I'm not letting you go any further. I did not hear about Rena Sofer going back to...
No, it's just he was hoping.
Oh,
you haven't heard anything yet.
I'm hoping on the Rena Sofer thing. But there were two casting things this week that I had privy to. Holly and David, I'm blanking. What was the other one? JC. Oh, yes. Yeah, so I had privy to both of... No, JC I'm about to say now. Holly, Emma Samms.
Yeah.
All right.
Emma Samms.
Yes, so I had privy to that. They said it wasn't going to be announced, and I was going to drop it tonight, and it was going to be officially announced tomorrow, but it got leaked on Tuesday. But I have the other one for you that just fell into my lap, and I got so excited. JC.
Get excited, guys.
I'm just going to give Candace one shot. JC, anyone come to mind, sweetie?
Jason Cook.
No, I wish.
No.
Female. I'll give you one more. Female.
Female.
Jessica Collins.
Jessica Collins.
Yeah,
I said it first.
She said me. They said me.
Well, a little birdie.
Go ahead, Anthony. You're going to love this, guys.
A little birdie whispered in my ear that Jessica Collins just signed a deal with The Bold and the Beautiful with a first extension, a 3-month extension at The Young and the Restless, where her character will then be transitioning to The Bold and the Beautiful. Ouch!
Well, good, because I liked her. But what are they going to do with her?
Is she going to be Avery and Bold?
She's going to be Avery out on Bold. Mm-hmm. So I just have one thing to say to that. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with her, but she's great.
Thomas?
But if
Thomas
they do not
Carter.
Have her be the vehicle that
Carter,
Phyllis
yeah.
and certain other folks up in, Genoa City find out that Sheila's alive and well and still killing, then I'm going to be really, really pissed off. But I am so looking forward to the reunion with her and Phyllis and whatever this 3-month arc that's going to bring her over to Bold and the Beautiful. Yes, I am so in. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I have always liked her, and I mean, towards the end, you have to admit her character kind of got boring because they didn't give her anything good.
They didn't know what to do with her.
Right.
We knew what to do with her, but they didn't know what to do with her. Yeah, she did kind of get boring.
We always know what to do with her.
Anthony, you forgot one other casting news.
Did I?
Oh, that casting news.
Mhm.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay,
you say it.
on this show called Forever and a Day, I don't know if you guys heard about the show.
Yeah,
but it's pretty good
I
from
love
what
it.
I've been told. Yeah, thank you. I haven't checked it out. I know. Anyway, they just revealed some casting news last night that daytime starlet who has been on a show called Passions, All My Children, and she's mostly known from Guiding Light as Jilly.
Jilly Grant.
Amelia Marshall is joining the cast. You're welcome, America.
Wow, congratulations.
Awesome, congratulations. Also, I want to throw out, too, that, and Anthony knows a little bit about this, the LGBTQIA drama podcast that I do with for Kathy is really good. It's on Spotify. Anthony played the mayor on the first season, so the second season he's going to play a very mistress character, so that's going to be so much fun. That'll premiere next week, so thank you so much, Anthony, for being a part of it. And again,
send me my lines.
David, get ready, David, because you're next. Remember, that's Spotify. It's called Arizona Heat. Check it out. And I appreciate everybody listening in. Thank you.
All right, Pam, what soap do you want to go to first?
You know what? Let's go with Bold since we just were talking about it. Did anybody see today's?
I did.
I only saw half of it.
But you can spoil her.
Okay, I only saw half, but the half that I saw, I was like, oh, yay, the perfect portrait. Donna, they were all together at Eric's house, and Donna said that, she put up a portrait. She said, it's about time we put this up, and it's a long time coming, blah, 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 blah. And I thought she was putting Stephanie back up there. And she pulled the drape down, and it was a portrait of Eric.
And you thought and I bet everyone thought it was going to be a portrait of Donna.
Of Donna, yeah.
I think they did, but you know what? This was a long time coming, and I'm so glad Eric's portrait is up there. It should have been up there when Stephanie died.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just jumping for joy. I was like, it's about time. Bring it on. And he looks so handsome in the picture, in the portrait. So, yeah. So, anyways, we are back to quote-unquote normal.
Normal. Deacon and Sheila on Bold and Beautiful, Daryl was entertaining for me.
Okay, so we're quote unquote back to normal as far as Steffi and Finn are in regards to that. I'm so happy that they're back together, but now we're breaking out with these other storylines, and Thomas and Hope are going to be fighting over, well, not just Thomas and Hope, but they're going to be fighting over Douglas. And what mess is going to come of that? I heard that Ridge and Brooke were going to break up because of that. What do you guys hear?
Yes, thank you. They need to break up Brooke and Ridge because they just don't click right now. They need to be apart from each other. That's just how I feel.
David?
I think it might. I don't know. I don't think he should be with any of the women right now. Brooke is sort of, I don't know, she has a right to make a stand in her marriage, but as far as Douglas, I don't think she really has a say.
I agree with that.
Oh, I agree. She's just being typical Brooke.
Anthony?
All right. So I'll be the oddball out here. I'm sorry, but I was really digging Ridge and Taylor. Everybody
I like
on this
them
show,
too. I like them
yeah.
too.
So everybody on the show and all our listeners know I am a Brooke fan. But at the moment, it's hard to be a Brooke fan. That's what I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a Brooke fan, but I'm still a Brooke fan. But I'm really digging Ridge and Taylor. As far as Douglas is concerned, I don't think either one of them has a say. I don't think any of the grandparents really have a say here.
No,
I think that they can offer their opinion / guidance, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's going to have to come down to Douglas himself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's he's old enough to know better.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I got a quick question for you. Who do you think that Douglas should be with his? I'm sorry, is it Hope or his dad? Because I know what Thomas did in the past when he lost control. Where do you feel that Douglas should be at now?
He's always going to be Thomas's son, so he should be with his father.
Yeah,
and
I'm sorry, but I agree with that 100%. I think he should be with Thomas. I think he brings out the best of Thomas, and they need some counseling for sure. Not Grandma Taylor. They need to bring Hillary B. Smith back. Not Grandma Taylor. But I think he should be with Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Candace?
Okay, so...
Oh, there you are.
I'm here. So regarding this situation, and I've analyzed it from all sides, so let me deal with the whole Ridge, Brooke, Taylor thing. I need for one of these women to put a stop to this. In other words, it's because, okay, Ridge, you went all gun-ho on Brooke regarding the kiss with Deacon. Mm-hmm. You've done all of this, putting blame on her and then, okay. So what is your real excuse for kissing Taylor? Because to me, Brooke should have went hard on you too, just like you did with her. Taylor, I feel as though, girl, you be setting yourself up all the time. It's like, okay, you had a moment. It was a moment. But you also had opportunities like Deacon to feel some kind of happiness, because as we've all been saying, Steffi found happiness outside of Liam. Why are you blocking your happiness because of this whole Rich is upset one day with Brooke, so he's going to come over to your house. One day he's upset at you, Taylor, so he goes back over Brooke. So Brooke and Taylor, y'all need to have a kumbaya moment, and y'all need to figure out what's best for yourself. Okay.
But seriously, after all these years, you think that's going to happen? No, because Taylor just dug her feet in and said she wants Ridge. So, and Brooke's not going to let go.
Thing. But this is my problem. To me, okay, Taylor should look at her daughter. Okay, you know how mothers want the best for their daughters. Well, Steffi, you should want you should want the best for your mother, because I understand you want your parents to be together and la rainbows and lollipops, but reality check. First and foremost, Ridge was always a hands-on parent. Let me repeat that for those in the back.
Well,
he never neglected. Yeah, he never neglected any of his kids.
No.
If we're going to be real about Taylor, you neglected your children when the times were tough and hard and everything. And let's be real, too. Brooke was the one who was taking care of your kids.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just putting it out there, not starting a fandom or anything, but this is facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Now, regarding Douglas, I need for this to play out because I understand that, and see, this is where we got to bring in some people. I need Danielle and Karen to come into play because their opinion is going to matter as well. For those who don't know, okay, Caroline 2.0 died. Rest in peace, girl. We miss you. Thomas has said that Caroline's wish was for Hope to be the mother. Okay, did they legalize the adoption? Right. Did they legalize the adoption? No. This was all done between Hope and Thomas because Thomas wanted to get closer to Hope, and what better way is to use a child? Right. Let's face the facts. Thomas is okay, like Brooke and them said in the bonus scene, I saw that. Thomas has gotten a lot better than he was a few years ago when he made that CGI go scare the mess out of that boy. You know that was wrong, Thomas. Mm-hmm. Y'all was done wrong. And everything. And yes, he is a little bit, he is stable. Now, as Douglas is getting older, I think for me personally, because I actually know somebody who's going through this right now. Hope and Thomas, like you guys said, needs to be the only two people talking.
Right.
You can go and ask Liam, who is, by the way, Douglas's cousin, because I saw a lot of people saying, like, Liam has, you're right, he doesn't, but at the same time, for the last couple of years, Liam has kind of played the stepdaddy role a little bit.
Yes.
Just want to point that out. Also, the fact is that, when it comes to Thomas, I mean, yeah, right now he's fine. He is showing improvement and whatnot. But like Hope is concerned that how do you know, like, what if something triggers Thomas when Douglas is around and something hurts Douglas? That's going to be on Hope's conscience, okay? Brooke, Taylor, y'all need to stop using, because I see it happen.
All right, Candace, girl. Yeah. Candace, I got to stop you there. I love you, and we're all saying the same thing. We've all been saying the same thing for over 20 years. You know they're not going to come to that kumbaya moment because if they come to that kumbaya moment, it ends the perpetual triangle.
Well, no, I was going to say they need to stop using the boy.
Right.
Because, see, this is the thing. Is that, okay, now all of a sudden.
Honey, they used Phoebe's death back in the day.
I know, but I'm saying with this one. But see, I was going to say there's another factor in it.
Juicy.
I understand that, but at the same time, there's another factor in all this. Bill Spencer. See, this is see, and this is where if they're going to do this, let's do it, Bo. Let's go for a full throttle custody hearing, and let it be known that Taylor shot Bill. So how, if they did it on General Hospital. General Hospital is the only time I'm going to give you some props for that, okay? But to me, it's like, Brooke, Taylor, respectfully, take some seats. Stop implanting stuff in your kids' brains and everything. And I feel bad for Thomas because he's seeing that, okay, Steffi's got a happy ending. He's jealous of his sister. He sees, Ridge and Taylor having a moment. So, yeah, I understand right now in the moment you really want this. But to me, I feel as though I'm going to be in the middle. I want to know what Douglas really wants. Because like Hope said to Thomas, if you try to take Douglas away, regardless, it's messing his routine. Douglas has had a solid routine ever since he was little. Hope, Beth, Liam, the house, the routine. Yeah, okay, Thomas comes every other Sunday, every other Saturday, and occasionally on Wednesday and Thursday and hangs out with him. He's used to that. Now, if Thomas wants to increase that, okay, but you got to let that boy gel into this new routine. It ain't going to happen overnight. And Hope and Thomas, y'all need to sit down and talk adult to adult, not Forrester versus Logan's agendas. No. Do what's best for that boy. I'm Team Douglas, by the way.
Right. And I want to say that's why I don't agree with Douglas going to stay with Thomas on a permanent basis, all in on Thomas, because he has been living with them. He has been raised by Hope and Liam and his little sister. It's been a family, and he has had that routine. And he doesn't realize, because he's so young, that pulling him out of that routine and just sticking him with his father and getting, may have to go to a new school and new friends or whatever the case might be, that could really affect him. And he doesn't know that because he's too young. And let me ask you this. I mean, where Hope and Liam live is down the hill from where Eric lives?
It's like down the street. It's like down the street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why can't they share custody if Thomas is going to be staying with Eric? I mean, why tear the kid away altogether full time? That just doesn't make sense.
Because
to me.
it's the whole agenda of now. And by the way, before anything, I'm just going to say, because Thomas sees that his side of the family is getting everything. Like Ridge and Taylor are spending more time together. Steffi and Finn are back. Like, Thomas wants to have a happy ending, too. He wants to have his son so he can have something. Because, okay, Thomas doesn't have anything going for him right now. Truth be told, Thomas does not have anything. He doesn't have a romantic pairing right now, which is uncalled for. He doesn't, like, his job is secure. I guess he's working. He's doing good. But
he wants something solid. He wants something solid of his own.
He wants something solid and permanent, and he wants to have something to say. Well, this is my son. This is da 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 da.
Okay, wait. But we are discounting the fact. So we're looking at this in real life terms, not soap opera terms. So in real life terms, we're also discounting the fact that he has really nothing but time to go over what's happened, where he is in life. And I agree with Candace. Look at Steffi. Look at his father. See that everybody's kind of lining up into their happy ending place. And he's not. But he might also be, look at what I did to my son, and how do I repair the damage? How do I build that relationship back with my son, et cetera, et cetera? He needs to come home to his dad.
Yeah.
We need to also think about that side of it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the agreement is binding then, right? Is that my understanding then with Thomas and Hope? They do have a binded agreement, or was that just per se, like word by word say?
It's basically because of everything that was going on. Remember when Hope and Thomas was a thing, and then they weren't a thing? And then, because, again, Thomas said by Caroline's dying wishes was for Hope to be the mother. Hope, made a vow to protect that child and whatnot. And, she could have, turned him over when she had Beth, but she didn't. She loves that boy. She wants the best for Douglas. And because she's seen firsthand how unhinged Thomas really is, and then when Thomas went to therapy and all that stuff, they sat down and they verbalized their agreement.
Right.
That was my main concern. I get the verbalization, but what I'm thinking is like the rest of y'all, the end result, meaning is it in binded, like is it legal?
But here's the thing, everybody knew about it. Yeah. But here's the thing, Eric, Steffi, Ridge, everybody knew what the agreement was. So it's not like I don't tell, like, okay, let's say Anthony and me come with an agreement and we don't tell nobody. I'm sorry, guess what? Pam, all of y'all going to know. Anthony and me agreed on that we would share the Emmy. We would share custody of the Emmy. He gets it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I get it the rest of those days.
Right, but if it's not legally binding, though, and even though everybody knows, if it's not legally binding, wouldn't that be the cop-out they need? So that Thomas gets done
yes
legally?
And no. I mean, there's a lot of verbal agreements that are binding.
Wait.
It just depends.
The ultimate answer to this question is, this is not Law and Order Special Victims Unit. This is the Bold and the Beautiful. If they decide that there's a loophole in the Constitution of the state of California in subsection Los Angeles Part B, that there's a rule they'll make it up and put it in there. So I love all of you for your passion, but we're arguing a point that it's soap opera world. They're going if they want to get out of it, they get out of it. They figure out a way. I mean, they bring people back from the dead and implant other people into other people's memories. A little thing like a custody agreement isn't going to stop somebody on a soap opera.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I was just wondering how that was working on the legal aspect of it.
Well, I don't think it gets that deep on Bold or any of the other ones for that matter. Let's move on to Deacon and Sheila. I actually almost feel sorry for Deacon because I think that, first of all, he's being, of course, everybody can see in plain view, he's being taken advantage. And he's just a couple of Fruit Loops short of a cereal box, you know what I mean? So it's kind of easy to do that with him because everybody takes advantage. And he's so, like, he looks innocent when he's talking, you know what I mean? Like, you know what like his naivete is showing.
Yeah, he means well.
Yeah.
Right.
You just feel your heart for him because he's going to be one of those guys that just gets that hard luck every single I hate to say it, but almost every single time he's going to be one of those guys that just gets that hard luck all the time.
Okay, Pam and Willie, I'm going to give you props. He is absolutely adorable. He can put on the puppy dog face like nobody else.
Yes.
But I think Candace is going to agree with me when I say this. He has been burned. He has been burned by good girls. He has been burned by bad girls. He has been burned by psychopaths.
Well, that's what I said. Everybody's taking advantage of him.
But at this point, he's not the droopy lidded little boy like, oh, my God, they took advantage. Come on. It's Sheila Carter. You have been burned so many times.
Yes.
You can't possibly be, the wool can't possibly be pulled over your eyes at this point.
But he would start to say something like he was going to call the cops or do whatever, and Kid would walk up to him and kiss him and tell him, come on, Deacon, I'm going to be around forever. You know what I mean? And he falls into place.
I got money.
Yeah.
And I also feel his attraction towards Sheila. I think that's a big factor in this whole situation. Even though he could turn her in at any moment, because this is Deacon, he usually has the agenda.
I don't know if he's particularly attracted to her, though. I think he's just horny. Put it plain and simple.
No, Candace, you're awfully quiet here. You're going to have to weigh in.
I think Candace
he's not
left.
the puppy dog.
No, I'm here. I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
I'm still here because when you guys talk about Deacon. Okay, so first and foremost, props to Sean Kanan because he is too cute, and I feel so bad for him. At the same time, I don't feel bad for Deacon. You know, so I just said that. I feel bad for him, but I don't feel bad for him. Okay. Deacon. What are we going to do with you? I feel
I'm missing when Deacon used to be the bad boy of like shaking things up. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the scenes with him and Sheila, but I like the Deacon that used to cause so much trouble. Like, remember when he was with Amber and he dealt with so much drama?
That's what I'm saying.
Like excitement every minute.
I feel as though we are going to get to that with that Deacon, like that Deacon. Right now, you got to realize that this man is trying to figure out how to save himself.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Like
he's playing every angle.
To figure this out. He's like, okay,
and he's playing every angle, Candace, right?
Right. Because right now, you got to realize that, okay, Brooke, and Hope is on a good page right now. They're in good terms right now. He's trying to not make the same mistakes over and over again. Okay, him and Taylor. Okay, but we're still going to talk about that later one day. But then, him getting corrupted in Sheila's world, it's like, oh, shoot, I thought I was the big baddie. Now I'm dealing with the biggest baddie of them all. And it's like Sheila really, it really has him wrapped around her finger. I was going to say toe. But the thing is that he knows he really can't get out because, like she said, if I go down, you're going down too because you're hiding out a freaking fugitive. And you can't go back with that. Like, you can try all you want, but you do know that she will, look, you're really, and not only that, a fugitive that shot Steffi, shot and killed, I don't care, he died for a minute, and doing all this stuff, and you hiding her out in your house, and if you saw today's episode, you know that help came, and it's like, oh, shoot, what's going to happen next? I don't know, but I feel for you, Deacon. But man, you look sexy though. And with that, I make my exit.
All right. Well, if we look at the time, we have got to go to the Young and the Restless now.
I think we're done with Bold right now, anyhow. So yeah, let's go to Young and Restless.
Yeah.
What do you want to bring up first?
Yeah.
Well, I was asking Anthony.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to think too.
I'm sorry, but what and who is Chelsea?
I don't know.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started on her.
You know, the Young and the Restless has a way of spiraling kind of out of like, you're at this moment, what are you doing? And then they kind of find a way to pull it all back together. Not every time. The Happy Hooker storyline, you know, should probably be left in the past for a very long time. But this one, I'm dumbfounded. All right, Willie?
Well, you know, fans like to do the fan talk, and they always kind of tease that Sharon's usually the one go after the men in Genoa City. And I guess that's how you look at it. But in my opinion, I see it as Chelsea's the one that they've kind of ruined her character, because if you look at it, she's trying to go after almost every single married man there is left on the show. I mean, she tried to go after Ray, and now you got she goes after Billy, and then there's something else coming up soon. I won't spoil it, but you'll see next where she's going next after this. But it's just crazy. It's just like, I'm sorry, but every time when she's on, it's just, I just want to just skip it.
Where she's going next makes no kind of sense. Because I read the same thing you read.
Yeah.
It makes no kind of sense.
Yeah. I can tease you, though. I do know that there is a Y&R exit coming. I'm not sure yet who that is, but we're going to find out within a couple of weeks. So get ready, because there will be an exit coming. And the exit does make sense as far as I was told.
An exit. You said exit?
An exit. Yeah, someone's going to leave. Someone in the show is going to leave the show, and they're not returning.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably got to happen at least by fall, because we're already. When does the fall season start for Y&R already?
September.
Right after Labor Day, the fall season.
Yeah, that's all.
The Monday after Labor Day is always the beginning of the fall season.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, when I heard about the exit, it kind of makes sense, because if you pay attention to the way the stories are kind of a little slow and dragging, when you see that the exit's coming, it will fit to what's going to happen in the storyline. So I'm looking forward to that exit, and I take it back to you guys.
Well, I have one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
I was so on board with Diane, and I stayed on board for as long as I could, but I'm off the rails again. All right, go ahead, Pam.
I'm not even into Diane one bit. Haven't been since she came back. There's nothing there other than making Phyllis jealous, and Nikki and Eileen, when she's on there for that matter, want to get her out of Genoa City. There's nothing there other than that.
Right, and don't forget Soap Opera Digest did tease, I think it was on one of the summer previews or something too, but the storyline going on with Diane and looking into her past, it's going to link to Nikki's past as well. So I think all this is going to lead up into the fall.
Well, maybe it's Diane leaving the show. I don't know. I mean, I like Susan. I like Susan.
Yeah,
I like Susan a lot, but
I like Susan.
Yeah,
but I'm okay if she goes.
Yeah,
her for the final time.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though,
do you think Trevor St. John has something to do with it?
What, David?
Go ahead. I'll say mine.
Do you think the Trevor St. John character will have something to do with it?
I don't know, but I'm excited to see him on there because I love Trevor St. John.
Okay,
I don't know. Do you know who he's playing?
Let's call the spades. They're probably going to link the Trevor St. John character, whoever it is, with Victoria. I would love to see the Trevor St. John pull Eileen Davidson back to the canvas on a full-time basis and have a rivalry that turns, a moonlighting kind of romance that they finally get together. I think the two of them would be hot together, but I think we all know he's going to end up with Victoria.
Oh. I
the Trevor St. John character.
I think he's going to go towards Phyllis. I mean, you never know. We could both be right. We could both be right. But the way I see it, he's going to be a new guy in town, and he can flirt with any woman he wants. But he probably would go to Victoria. But I would see him maybe spicing things up with Phyllis, since we all know the way it's going with Diane and Jack a little bit. He's going to need someone to spice up, for her. So I would kind of place my bets on Trevor St. John and Phyllis.
All right.
Anthony, do we have a date on Trevor's debut? Do you have any?
I think it was October 3rd.
Yeah, still
the first week of October.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
All right, let's move along to Days. David, you haven't spoken a lot tonight. Why don't you catch us up on the last couple of weeks of Days?
I missed Days today, so that's the only one I didn't see today.
Yeah, but you watched the last couple of weeks, so go ahead and talk about it.
Yes.
David.
What?
Are you going to talk about Days?
I said, let me see, yes. I just can't tell you what happened today, so.
That's fine.
First off, we have Orpheus has got Marlena and Kayla, while John and Steve were trying to protect Stephanie, because they thought they were going to meet. They thought that she was going to meet with Orpheus because there was no name attached to her client. And it ended up being Paulina. And so Paulina has hired Stephanie to help with Abe's gubernatorial campaign.
All right.
Okay.
Pam, what's excited you in the last couple of weeks about Days?
Okay. I love that Greg Vaughn has walked around shirtless the last couple of days.
I thought you would.
I think a couple of us enjoyed that.
Yes. I gotta say, I love Ron's creativity here, because you think about it. Every time in Salem, it's a good place to go visit because you see a lot of shirtless hunks. I mean, first you always see Xander running around jogging. Then you got Johnny running around like a couple weeks ago. Oh, you got to give Ron his credit. I'm like, dude, that's where it's at. Go to Ford Square, and your hunk will be running around.
There's more eye candy for the women and the gay men on Days than there is, I think, any of the other soaps right now. But I like the new cop. What's her name? Jada?
Jada?
Yeah.
Jada?
I like her, and I think I might like her with Eric, but I'm not sure yet, although they did hop into the bed today. I I like in a way that Paulina is pushing Abe to get to be the governor because, for one reason only, if a sitting governor can be blackmailed by one person to let go of all the crazies in the jail and pardon them, then somebody else needs to take over. I mean, I honestly think this is the stupidest storyline.
All right.
I agree.
I'm going to step up now. I'm, quite often I get to the point where I just start fast forwarding stuff. And with Days, I'm at the point where I fast forward a lot of stuff. I'm so, the storyline is so off, Days and General Hospital are the ones that pull the, fanciful storylines off. I mean, you had a possession storyline, so
right.
This one is so out of reality based. This just
terrible.
Could never happen. It could never happen. So everything connected with it, Marlena Kay, all of it, I'm just like, I'm turned off in a way. I stop the fast forward to catch anything that looks like it's going to be a moment that I need to like file in the bank for storyline. But it's just so ridiculous that I just fast forward most of it.
Well, I don't fast forward because that's just not who I am. I can't because I feel like I'm going to fast forward something that I actually should have watched because then I'll be lost with something. So I always watch all of it, every minute of it, although I hate it, But, I mean, it was just so obvious when all these people were released. The next. Who didn't know that Orpheus was going to go and go by Marlena and, what's her name, Kayla, and kidnap them? Who didn't know that? Who didn't know that Kristen was going to come back and try to get Brady and her kid and make Chloe's life a living hell? Who didn't know that?
Not very many.
I've got some theories on what they're doing right now, but let's play it out for another 2 weeks, and I will lay some stuff down on our next show. All right, let's jump over to the last soap opera, General Hospital. Okay, I'm going to start with this. The little kids on the show are just so dynamically awesome.
Yes.
I am in love with Violet. I am in love with Leo. I am in love with the other little one that was on the other day. I am in love with all the little kids. They are just so adorable. They're so on their marks. It's so cool that Having said that,
I've got to share just a quick little part where Theo is telling Nina, and he gets mad at her, and he says, "My mommy told me that you took away Aunt Carly's business." Like, oh my God, I love that. That's just priceless. It's so cute because he's being more sociable and he's talking more to adults. But seeing Nina, he saw red and he's like, I'm going to let her have it.
Well, you know what I like? I like that little Leo turned into David. My gosh.
On All My Children?
Yes, David. What's his name?
Hayward.
David Hayward. He turned into a David Hayward, or he's trying to, with Libidozone. But instead he's got Granny's recipe.
The Sicilian Funza.
Yeah.
No, the Sicilian Thunderbolt.
Okay, so thankfully, thank God they finally kissed. They admitted it. But okay, now we just have to wait for Link to get off and figure out who done it. Sam, Dante, how adorable. Absolutely loving it. The other ones, Carly and Drew. God, they want us so bad to buy into this. It's just,
but I do like them.
I like them together as long as he isn't Drew.
Why?
Because it doesn't go with the story arc. I mean, she was so...
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I mean, they're fun together. Don't get me wrong.
Wait. I have to push back against this, though, for a second. Because, I see the soap Twitter and I see the stuff on Facebook. Carly actually never dropped Drew. She never did anything specific. Sonny, yes. But Carly and Drew, all the through line of their whole thing, they were always friends. So,
that's
Carly
what I
actually
thought,
never did
and then I thought I was
him.
wrong.
No, you're not wrong, Pam. They were
you.
always friends. She went to him after that whole beef with Sonny when it was Billy Miller playing Drew. She went to him. They were cool. They never actually had anything between them that was negative except for the Sonny thing, and they made it cool. So all of this, she dropped him like a hot potato. She didn't drop him like a hot potato. He wasn't Jason. He understood it. He wasn't Jason for Sam. He wasn't Jason for Liz. He wasn't Jason for Carly. He knew that. He understood that. She never did anything to him. So all of this backlash is absolutely ridiculous. Having said that, before I say the last part, having said that, it's also not Carly went after Franco because he was supposedly Jason's brother. No, that was not the storyline. Sorry, folks, but no. And no, it's not that Drew is now the second best to Jason either. I'm sorry, that's not the beat that's being played, and it's not in kind with the story we've been told. And last but not least, I'm sorry to say it, there's not. I feel the flirtation, but the oomph that makes a couple an oomph, I feel it with Dante and Sam. I don't feel it with Drew and Carly. They have cute flirtations. They look absolutely incredible together, but the oomph is just not there.
Yeah.
Well, now look at Lisa and Scotty. The oomph is there. It's a crazy weird oomph. I love them. The oomph is
so
there.
I love how protective she is of him. It's adorable how protective she is of Scotty.
And right back at him for her. It's adorable, and you feel the oomph.
Right.
Now, I'm on a roll. I'm sorry. I don't mean to take up all the space in the room, but I am so not believing into feeling that Catherine Bell is his half-sister / I am not feeling this. This was the dumbest. I'm sorry. I watched Dominique. I watched her fall in love with Scotty. I watched her die. Leo Taub was dead. If she had a child out there, the Dominique that I watched would have told Scotty. Scotty was the best he has ever been with her. He was the most compassionate human. If she had a child, she would have told him, and they would have gotten that child.
Especially when she was dying.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I agree with
Leo
you.
Taub was finally dead.
Nobody remembers.
No,
I don't
remember
him in particular.
Now.
I don't remember Leopold.
We only saw Leopold
we
only saw Leopold maybe like 2 weeks worth of time. We didn't actually see him.
No wonder I don't have a good
figure. Yeah, once we saw him, he ended up dying. So, no. He wasn't a big player. But Leopold was a player in Dominique's life, which subsequently, and back then, Anna was involved. Alicia was involved. Lucy was, no. This was not, this storyline is very ugly to the history of
think about it
general
this way. Think about it this way. Maybe that's what he was told, but it's not the truth.
Yeah, I think there's more to it. Because remember, Scotty hinted, he says, I'm not buying this for a second.
Right.
He knows. Right. Scotty knows deep in his heart something is not right here. And I'm surprised. I'm hoping they go with this, though. I'm hoping that Scotty starts to run with his idea that this is not true. And maybe he can talk to Lucy. Because remember, Lucy knew Dominique as well. They need to go with that point. Like, hello, Lucy was a part of this. Let's bring Lucy into it. And maybe they'll bring Anna because Anna is great for being an investigator there. But I'm like everybody else. I'm not buying that that's actually her son. I think there's going to be more to it.
Yeah, I do too. I think there's something else that they're not letting out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, because that would be the only thing that makes sense to me. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Unless there was another family member.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of those fillers. I wanted to add real quick that I'm enjoying the picnic. I'm loving that, enjoying it. I'm over Austin and Maxie. Austin and Maxie, they just need to cut that out already.
Now, there is a couple that Anthony, that I do not feel has sparked. There's nothing there. There's way more with Drew and Carly than there is with Austin and Maxie.
Yeah, I think they're just forcing it. They're just forcing it, and it's not going nowhere.
They're forcing it. I agree 110%. There is so much more chemistry with Austin and Britt than there is with Austin and Maxie.
Yes, that's what I said. Yes, exactly. And you got to put Spinelli and Maxie back together because that's where the chemistry is. You can still see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. But don't forget, guys. There's still one more leak into the chain for Cody. Don't forget that Spinelli knows who Cody is. He just isn't saying nothing. Because remember, Cody's blackmailing. Cody's blackmailing Spinelli. So it's like, I got one on you. I got one on you. It could go either way. Because Sonny picked up that Cody is a little off. Remember?
Yeah, he's off.
Spinelli, he's like, "What's going on here?" Spinelli goes, "Nutsy." You know, Sonny's like, "Yeah, right."
You know, okay. So let's shift the focus just a tiny bit. Every time I'm finally, I liked Sonny and Mike back in Nixon Falls. I just did, and I was kind of holding out for the Sonny, what I really wanted to see, and Jay, I think they were going to go with this, but then the whole mask and COVID thing happened with Steve Burton. I wanted to see Sonny come back without all of his memories and be the Jason to Jason being the Sonny. Okay, that couldn't play out.
Yes, I wanted that.
And I wanted to see, because he would have been in love with Nina as Mike, not as Sonny.
I cannot stand them together. Can't stand them together. Mm-mm.
And honestly, they have regressed Nina back into something she had learned. She had been in Shady Brook. She had cut a baby out of somebody. She had moved to a place. She wasn't completely normal and stable, but they moved her back into this wish, vindictive. She had a moment where she could have taken the high road with Carly. She had a moment where she could have taken the high road with Olivia. And then comes her moment with Willow. And that broke it for me. I don't think I can go behind Nina Nina being redeemable after this now.
I can add, I do like Willow and TJ's chemistry. It's off the charts.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, they're talking a lot about Willow and TJ.
I know. I'm loving the fan reaction because I'm on board. Sign me up. I love Willow and TJ together. It's like Michael, who, I just love the chemistry just in the room, talking together, being around each other. I could see them being like the next couple.
It is so weird to watch General Hospital right now because there's so many things that they're doing right, and then just as many things that they're doing wrong. Case in point, they've brought Anna back to the Anna that she should have been all along. The Anna that she was, the Anna that we love, know and love. In her scenes with Martin and then again with Lucy, it was like, yo, that's Anna. Welcome back. Even in her scenes yesterday with Jordan, that was the Anna that we know and love. Case in point. Okay, the opposite side of that, we have folks on canvas that Nicholas, I don't know who this person is. This is not Nicholas that I've known for years.
No.
Ava's a chameleon. She plays the game, so you can't play the Ava thing. But there's so many. Oh my God, that it's just like, what are they doing? And then there's so many beats that they're hitting perfectly. Now, I think we need to transition to the Curtis, Portia, whole Jordan thing.
Well, who's going to end up being the baby daddy.
I still want Taggart to be her father.
Fans aren't happy about that. How do y'all feel about that?
I don't. I want Taggart. I still want Taggart to be her father.
I really wouldn't be surprised if in the end Taggart ends up being her father and it all comes up, it blows everything out of the water, and then it's back to the Portia, Jordan, Curtis triangle.
Yeah. Don't forget, Esme knows about Trina. She wasn't able to use it just yet. But Esme knows about Trina's parentage from the past with Curtis.
Yep. And does anybody on this call think that anybody other than Victor has Esme stashed away somewhere?
Someone
well,
has.
I saw something the other day, and me, you know me, I don't read spoilers, so I only caught one sentence of it, and I looked away. That possibly Nicholas is hiding Esme because that's what he's holding over his wife to keep her in line.
I heard that spoiler. Yeah,
I heard that too.
Nicholas, he's desperate to keep Ava. He'll do anything to keep her. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
I wouldn't be surprised either. You know, but it doesn't fit with the way they're writing Nicholas right now. But I really wouldn't mind a shift in the Nicholas character. So if that is the storyline, I am gung ho. Whatever ends this Victor storyline, I'm going to be so down with because it is drawn on for way too long. I'm so over it, it's not even funny.
Yeah, exactly. I'm over it too, but I'm super excited that we got our Holly back. So thank goodness for that. I love Holly.
I am super excited for that. Somehow or another, you know that's going to usher Luke back onto the canvas. Yep.
Yes. So
and
good.
that's going to be our path to lead back to Luke. Mark my words. David, how many times when I say mark my words am I wrong? Not often, right?
Not often.
All right. Let's move to Liz.
Yes.
I'll go with Willie. Liz. Willie, how you feeling in the midst of this storyline right now?
About Liz?
Yep.
Oh, I wish Ben would just kind of back off her a little bit. Because he seems to me like he's kind of, how do you say, when you smother somebody and they just need air, he's just there all the time, and he's pushing things, he's doing way too much. Like, dude, she just had a breakdown. Give her a break a little bit. Let her breathe. Like, he's doing so much behind her. Like, I think was it recently, right? He just called her parents or called the mom or something?
He called Sarah the sister.
Yeah, I get, like, he wants to be helpful, but I think he also needs to consider her emotions right now. She's very ready to break again. Like, it could happen any minute. She could have another breakdown.
But I see both sides. He loves her so much that he's willing to do anything, even if it's losing her, only to help her. I understand that.
Yeah, I get that part, too. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so
I feel the storyline. At least it's not where, this is going nowhere. I get the emotions, I get the feeling, but I'm also like, okay, she thought recently at the step, she remembered something saying something about daddy. I think that's going to go back to something that happened in her past with her dad. Not anything like too bad, but it's something traumatic that definitely triggers her. So I'm intrigued on that. I'm still invested with Liz.
Yeah, I am.
All right, so I'm definitely got a couple of things to say. The way they're telling this storyline harkens back to old soap opera. Maybe not 60s and early 70s, but mid-70s through the early 90s, where a storyline actually had a huge build-up. It took a while. It played all the beats. It felt natural because, it wasn't rushed the way a lot of storylines are now of days. I'm loving that aspect of it. I have a feeling, and at some point we'll probably get confirmation, that they had to pivot for some reason and change the storyline from what it originally was. But that's okay. I'm down with that too. I have to say this. If they do not end this storyline with Jeff Weber present, and there for whatever the past, I have a feeling it's going to be something like Elizabeth was actually almost raped before she came to Port Charles, and her father killed the kid by accident. However, he grabbed the the
and
kid,
she saw it,
whatever it be, and she blocked the memory, and they sent her to Port Charles, and she's been fragile all these years.
It happened in a stairway, because that stairway triggers her. It triggers her when she's in there. So it happened. Somebody went down those stairs. Somebody went down those stairs, and it's not the part about what's his name that's dead, Peter. Yeah, it's not that. It's something else.
And
it's his girlfriend.
To all the fans out there that are getting a little bit hell-bent on, it's going to be another section. We just did this with Fluke, and, how many times are we going to do a sexual abuse storyline? Folks, buckle up. I'm telling you, it is not a sexual abuse storyline. There's a horror piece into this that, and she's finally going to free her memory. And maybe Sarah will come to town. That's great. But if they don't end it with us finally getting the payoff of Jeff Weber coming back and facing his daughter, then why did you do the storyline in the first place?
Right. Yeah, I pick up on that too. She must have had some type of where she's running away from somebody and she winds up in some type of a hallway stairs. I think that's going to be part of the story. Something major's kicking in. So, like I said, I'm invested. Yeah,
I just hear those words.
I would love to see the original Jeff Weber, too.
I would too.
Is he still acting?
Richard Dean Anderson. No, he hasn't been around in quite a few years, but, this is General Hospital. They have a way of, enticing people back for a short arc.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Richard Dean Anderson, right? I couldn't think of his name at the moment.
Yeah. MacGyver.
Yeah, MacGyver. I love him. I love him.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. Did you guys see the clips that I posted on the media with the original Jeff Weber old episodes I was able to pull out? Oh my God, I love sharing those. Those are amazing scenes right there.
You know who would be a really good Jeff Weber too, though?
Who?
If we can't get Richard Dean back, Holden from As the World Turns. What's his name in real life?
John Hensley.
Oh, John Hensley. Yeah, he'd be great. Yeah.
John Hensley would be a great Jeff Weber.
Well, I know who he is, but I didn't watch those shows, so I don't know. But I know he's a good actor, and I know what he looks like. So that could work too. I'm sure there's
they do play with ages. They can just color him up and make him look older.
They don't have to age him that much.
No, if Robert Newman wasn't just on Y&R, I think he would be a good one. Jeff Weber too.
Yeah, he's free. He's free from Y&R, so he's open to be on GH. So that'd be great.
Well, the thing is, the reason he left, he only had a short time on Y&R is because he wants to spend time with his family. It was his choice to leave.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
And he didn't want to stay in Los Angeles too long.
All right. Well, folks, this has been a great 2 hours. The interview was absolutely amazing, and we've caught up on our favorite shows and all the great news that's out there. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another great episode.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Everybody.
Thanks, you guys, for joining, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
And Pam, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. I do it when I can. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Night.